Daniel, Coach mentioned taking the entire operation into account and making the decision. How are you able to separate yourself with this quarterback competition?
Yeah, I think for me, my mindset was just to try to be as consistent as I could every day, make progress, and grow in my understanding of the offense and understanding of what Coach wants and what he sees in this offense. So I tried to keep that my focus. That'll stay my focus going forward.
How
Daniel,
good is it for you?
reaction?
Just for
Daniel, what was your reaction when Coach told you guys?
Obviously, I was excited. Excited for the opportunity, and as a competitor, you want to be on the field, and that's why you work. So I'm excited and looking forward to getting out there. I think we have a good football team, and we've put in a lot of work.
How good is it for you just to get some clarity now, knowing that you're the guy, you're going to get the reps? How much is it going to help you moving forward?
Yeah, I think it helps. But as far as my mindset or your preparation or what you're doing day to day, I don't think that changes all that much really. Obviously I'll be taking. Practice will change a little bit, but from my approach and my preparation, all that stuff stays the same, and try to be as consistent as I can with all that. So I'm fired up, I'm excited, and like I said, we've put in a lot of good work. I think we made a lot of progress, but we have a lot of kind of critical work looking forward in these next couple weeks to get ready.
Daniel, obviously you came here for this opportunity. Why do you think this could be different than what we saw over the last couple of years with the Giants?
I think every situation is different. Every season's different. I'm growing and developing as a player constantly, and I think so a lot of things go into it. I think I'm prepared and will continue to work hard to prepare.
Not all players get a second chance this quickly after leaving another team. I guess, is there anything that maybe you learned from the first experience with the Giants that you plan to do a little differently, or ways that you've just grown to make sure you handle this as best you can?
Yeah, I think there's a number of things specific to on the field and fundamental things in scheme, and then there's stuff off the field too that you're constantly working and refining in your process, and always trying to learn and grow from it.
Daniel, what are you better at now than when you were in New York last year there?
I think you're growing in your understanding of scheme, of defense, of what teams are trying to do, decision making, understanding when you can get through reads and where the ball needs to go. I think my training and preparation off the field, in preparation for camp, and I made progress there physically and mechanically, footwork wise. I think there's a number of things that I've worked on to improve.
What's your relationship like with Shane as a play caller, and like that communication like, and how do you see yourself succeeding in this offense?
Yeah, I think it's been great. I think we spent a lot of time, dating back to the spring in meetings, and he's been in our quarterback meetings. He's constantly communicating what he sees, what he expects from us in certain situations, how he plans on calling a game, things he's looking for defensively to attack, and I think I have a good understanding of what he expects and what he wants. So that will always be growing and evolving, as we spend more and more time together. But I'd say right now I feel like I have a pretty good understanding of that.
Daniel, what was the last 48 hours like? I guess since the Green Bay game ended, did you think you had won it? What was the wait and see like until this point?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't have a great idea, as far as Shane's timeline and what he was planning on doing, but I was ready whenever, and obviously just kind of going about my work as I normally do, reviewing the game and getting prepared for this week of practice. So I wasn't I didn't have any inside scoop on his timeline there.
You talked about the talent around here. How much does that excite you, knowing the type of guys you have on this offense as you get ready for week one?
Yeah, I think it's exciting. I think, like I said, I think we've put in a lot of good work this training camp, and I think we've executed at a high level and made a lot of progress in that space. But the guys up front have played well all training camp. It's a strong group there, and then guys on the perimeter, receivers, tight ends, backs. I think there's a lot of guys who can make plays. So I'm excited to get out there with him.
Shane mentioned a lot of the operational things, the stuff that he looked at for you that kind of pushed you over the top in this quarterback competition. Why do you think you were able to, grasp that so quickly with a new offense?
I don't know. I mean, I think experience and time on the field, playing games and being out there, and then I think just preparation and spending time being prepared for practice, going over what you need to go over, going through certain situations in your head, and knowing what to expect when you get out there.
Daniel, one thing that Shane stressed a couple of times is you're not the quarterback for now. You're the quarterback of the season, and there won't be a short leash. Is it reassuring to know that he's got that level of trust in you?
Yeah, it certainly is. But I understand this league and how it works, and you've got to perform at a high level week in and week out, and that's certainly what I expect of myself, and I'll be expecting of all of us in this offense. I think we all have high expectations of what we can be.
Last one over here, Joel.
You had options in free agency to go other spots. Does this validate that you made the right choice?
Yeah, I mean, I think that was obviously a big piece of why I came here and to play, to be on the field, and to be with this group. I think it's a strong group of players, as I said, and a strong group of coaches. The system. I think there's a lot of things here to be excited about. So. Yeah, I'm certainly happy I made the decision I did.
You just got to respect the decision. They feel like he's a better fit for the team, better fit for the outcome of us winning. So you just got to respect it and just keep working. That doesn't undermine any other work I've been putting in. Doesn't say that I haven't improved. I'm proud of the improvement I've made. Shane is also proud of that. So you just got to keep stacking on that and just keep getting better.
You say you respect it. Do you agree with it?
I mean, I got to agree with it, At the end of the day, whatever's best for the team, that's best for the team. If it was me, I'm pretty sure, he would be having to answer the same question. So at the end of the day, I respect it, and whatever's best for the team, whatever's going to get us that Super Bowl ring, I'm all for it.
You went through something somewhat similar last year. Last year you went through something somewhat similar. Is there anything you learned from how that went, or anything you do differently this year just to handle the opportunity or the setback?
Man, stay ready so you ain't got to get ready. One play away, although I'm not the starter, who's to say I won't get a shot or opportunity to go out there, and help the team win, So at the end of the day, that's the most important thing, being ready. And whenever the opportunity does come, I just got to, be ready for that and take advantage of it.
Did you think you did enough to win the job?
I don't know. Obviously not. I didn't get the job, but it's not up to me to make that decision. They made the best decision for the team, and I'm proud of that. I gotta just keep my faith in the Lord. Proverbs 3, verse 5 and 6 says, trust in the Lord with all your heart, lean not on your own understanding. And that's what I'm doing. I'm trusting in the Lord, focusing on Him, and appreciating everything that's thrown my way.
Would you have done anything differently throughout the QB battle, looking back on it now that you did get the outcome you wanted?
I don't know. My main focus was to, improve and grow. I feel like I've been doing that, but, I just got to keep doing that. The work I've been putting in, I feel like it's been showing, but, I just got to keep doing that. And like I said, when my opportunity on my numbers call, I got to be ready.
Shane mentioned that a lot of the operational stuff was the reason why he went with Daniel Jones. How do you think you can grow in that area, and how you would assess just where you are right now with the operational stuff and kind of the behind-the-scenes stuff?
Just keep communicating with him, keep communicating with Coach Cam, and just, I guess, keep learning and keep growing.
Anthony, how much growth happens when you're actually playing versus not playing?
Growth is growth. You're gonna learn from what you learn from. Who's to say you'll get more information while being out there on the field. People learn differently. You get different ways to go out there and experience different things, but you got to be willing to grow. And I'm willing to grow. I'm willing to learn. So I'm all for it.
Anthony, what was your reaction after your conversation with Shane and talking to him? What did you take away from it?
He made a decision. That's the decision we got to live with. No hard feelings. It never personal. I just got to keep growing. I just can't let me not being a starter, stop me from growing and being the person and player that I'm supposed to be. So I just got to stay focused and keep grinding.
You mentioned your improvement. You have had those strides. Where do you identify the biggest strides that you've made, and then what are your priorities moving forward, and where you want to continue to improve and develop?
I feel like I've taken big steps in a lot of ways. My preparation, my knowledge of the offense, the intensity I put into working on my footwork and making sure I'm delivering the ball in the right spots, and making sure my mind is in the right spot so I can make the best decisions for the team. I just feel like I made a lot of growth, but there's still a lot of growth to be made. So I'm just working.
Do you have faith in your future with this franchise and the development plan they have for you going forward?
Man, I have faith in God and whatever He has in store for me. I'm trusting in Him. I can't really think about everything else because if I do that, then I'm gonna put myself in a hole. So I just gotta trust in the Lord, and I gotta be where I am right now. And right now, I'm an Indianapolis Colts.
Shane indicated to us, and Chris has indicated to us that no matter what happened here, you still had a future. Do you believe that? The future here?
Yeah, I believe in them. They believe in me. But like I said, I just got to be ready for whenever the opportunity showcases itself. I can't put a timeline on it. They can't either. I just got to, whenever the opportunity is there, I got to take advantage of it. So, I appreciate every opportunity.
But after 2 years and 2 benchings, I guess what gives you confidence that they do still believe in you?
Them telling me. They tell me they believe in me. My teammates believe in me. So. I got no choice but to listen to them and believe that. So they're telling me one thing, and I got to accept that, and I got to live with it. And I just got to showcase that I'm still here, and I got to keep growing.
You've been in a situation like this before. How do you take this moment here and try to use this motivation to know to be ready because your name could be called anytime?
Man, it's not just this moment. It's life. Everything doesn't always go your way, but that doesn't mean you got to stop living life. I'm still here. I'm still willing to work. I'm still willing to grow, and I'm still willing to be, a great quarterback in this league. So whatever God has in store for us and this team, I'm all for it, and I'm here 100%.
AR, do you want to stay here and be an Indianapolis Colt?
Man, I thank God for the opportunity. And like I said, I got to stay ready, be ready. So, Lord's willing. If it's still here, I'm gonna take advantage of it. But I'm not looking to. Get into going anywhere else, anything like that. Like I said, I'm here in the moment right now. I'm a Colt, and I enjoy being a Colt. So I'm excited to be here, and I'm excited for Daniel. He's going to do a great job leading the team. I talked to him earlier, man. Lead the team, lead the way. We following him, and wherever he takes us, that's where we're gonna go.
Yeah, no disrespect to Daniel, but your teammates, a lot of them felt like you had the best camp you've ever had. That being said, how surprised were you to find out the news that you're not the QB1?
I guess you could say somewhat surprised, but at the end of the day, we all knew somebody was gonna have to be on this end of the stick, and it was me. I feel like I did improve. That's what I talked about earlier. My improvement was there, but it's still ways I can improve. It's still ways I can become a better player. Become a starter in this league. So I feel like I did a decent job in improving, but there's still a lot more I can do. It's only about to be year 3. Shane already talked about me being 23 years old, so I still got more time. I still got more time to grow and be a great guy in this league. So I'm looking forward, and I'm thankful for every opportunity.